Hi everybody, and welcome to this revision video on sleep hygiene. So this is linked to the psychological well-being topic for stage 1 psychology. Let's get started. So you all know how much I love talking about this. So sleep is extremely important for overall well-being, but many people don't make it a priority. So they'll often sacrifice sleep for something that they consider more important at the time. Now, getting a bad night's sleep now and then is just a part of life. It happens to everybody. But a lack of consistent sleep can lead to many physical and mental health problems, including insomnia, high blood pressure, high blood glucose levels, depression and anxiety. So again, having a bad night's sleep now and then is not going to affect these processes, but if it's long term, it can lead to the development of these issues. So sleep, as we know, is a circadian rhythm. So it's a 24-hour cycle that is innate in the body. Now, we have several other circadian rhythms, and if sleep is out of sync or we're not getting enough of sleep and we're not allowing our brain and our body to rest properly, it's actually not going to do our other circadian rhythms of blood pressure, blood glucose, pain tolerance and so on any good either. So if we sacrifice sleep or don't get enough sleep, it has a knock-on effect on our other bodily processes. So how much sleep is optimal for teenagers? You guys should know this. It should be between 9 to 10 hours of sleep each night, or at least 9 hours is seen to be quite good for teenagers because you are still growing and you're taking on a lot of information in years 11 and 12. 9 to 10 hours is seen as optimal. So what are the factors that stop or inhibit you from getting enough sleep? I know we've talked about this in class already, but it happens to all of us. It's nothing to be ashamed of. A lot of things that can include distractions, so phones and screens, technology, social lives, social commitments, work commitments, homework, things like that. There's a lot of reasons why people don't get enough sleep, not just teenagers. So there's a lot of factors that go into it. So the good news is that we know of different sleep hygiene techniques to help improve sleep quality and quantity. So sleep hygiene techniques are things in our behavioral control that can help to have optimal sleep quality and quantity. So sleep better and get more restorative sleep and sleep for longer if that's a goal of yours. So let's go through the sleep hygiene techniques in more detail. So stick to a consistent wake up and bedtime every day of the week, give or take 1 hour maximum. If we keep our get up and go to sleep time consistent, our circadian rhythm, or our sleep-wake cycle, in other words, is going to also become in sync. Once that's in sync, our other bodily process will sync up as well. So our circadian rhythms love consistency. So if we can stick to a consistent wake up and bedtime and it's not chopping and changing all the time, we're more likely to get that deep restorative sleep because we'll be in sync with what we're doing in terms of time. Having a quiet and comfortable sleep environment. So this will obviously be a little bit subjective depending on the individual. Some people need a fan on, some people do not. Some people need to have water beside their bed. Some people need complete darkness. Some people need a little bit of light. Some people need music playing or ASMR sounds playing, each to their own, but having a quiet and comfortable sleep environment is going to help overall with sleep hygiene. Okay, now, another sleep hygiene technique. Don't consume caffeine within 4 hours of bedtime. So one caffeinated drink, so 1 can of Coke or 1 cup of coffee, can last in the body for up to 4 hours. So if you are deliberately putting stimulants, so caffeine in other words, into your system, you're raising your physiological responses or your physiological arousal, and that's going to keep you awake. So the higher your physiological arousal, the more stressed the body is. And as we know from previous videos in doing this subject, the more stressed out you are, the less likely it is that you're going to fall asleep, because when we enter sleep, our physiological responses should go down, not go up. So if we consume caffeine, we're not really doing ourselves any favors and we're actually stressing the body out more and preventing sleep onset. So avoiding caffeine within 4 hours of bed is a good sleep hygiene strategy. Now, if you are having trouble sleeping at night, don't nap during the day. Naps can be beneficial, but it depends on the situation. If you are having consistent trouble sleeping at night, it's not a good idea to nap during the day, especially for more than 20 minutes. The first 20 minutes of a nap during the day, we only obtain light sleep. But if we nap more than that, we start to go into deeper stages. And that can completely throw off our sleep-wake cycle at night because our circadian rhythm will be very confused. It won't know what to do. It's very similar to mild jet lag. So it's actually better that you go to bed completely exhausted at night and sleep solidly than get a quick nap during the day. Now, obviously there are exceptions to that. It's obviously advised that you nap before getting behind the wheel of a car, or if you're doing an important job, then obviously, yes, get the sleep that you need. We don't want to be dangerous. But if at all possible, avoid napping during the day. That'll make it more likely that you sleep solidly at night and get your circadian rhythm or your sleep-wake cycle back on track. Okay, now, number 5, establishing a bedtime routine is often a good idea. As we know, our sleep-wake cycle loves routine. So if we can also physically get in a routine, that's only going to benefit. So it could look like this. It doesn't have to look like this, but something similar. So TV off at 9, phone away, out of the room, have a shower, read a book, lights off at 10, or something similar to that. Again, our circadian rhythm loves consistency. So if we actually establish a routine, that's only going to benefit us. Number 6, avoid being on your phones or looking at a screen immediately before bed. Now, as we know, our SCN, which is our suprachiasmatic nucleus, it detects light, which then sends messages to other parts of our brain. If our SCN detects light, no matter what format, so especially screens, because it's blue light, it's going to travel to our SCN, and then it will be confused as to whether it's nighttime or daytime. So if our SCN is picking up light signals from our retinas, it's thinking that it's daytime, and it's not going to release the correct amount of melatonin, which is our sleep hormone. So that's why people who watch screens very late at night or on their phones immediately before bed often have trouble falling asleep, or they may fall asleep okay, but they don't get deep restorative sleep and feel exhausted the next day. So you've interrupted the process of our natural sleep cycle because you've exposed your SCN to light and it's confused as to whether it's nighttime or daytime. So avoid looking at screens or lights directly with your eyes before bed. Now, having a bath or shower 90 minutes before bed is also a really good strategy. This will prompt your sleep-wake cycle to activate. So once we have a bath or a shower, when we get out, our body temperature will naturally go down. It will drop. And that can often signal our sleep-wake cycle to activate, because when we naturally go to sleep, our body temperature drops anyway. So the drop in body temperature getting out of the shower or bath, it'll often, again, kickstart our sleep-wake circadian rhythm, and we will feel much more sleepy and have a lot of melatonin released and often sleep very, very well if we have a shower or a bath 90 minutes before bed. So those are the main sleep hygiene strategies, guys. I hope you found that video useful, and I hope you try and implement some of these if you don't already. You know, I love talking about this, but if you have any questions or concerns, let me know. Otherwise, happy revising.